Okay, so hello everyone. In this video, we will run through several important details in the theory discussion of your SIM for weeks 15 to 16. Okay, so quick tip for our audit of intangible, there's no need for you to be stressed much with your audit of intangibles because some of the authors, some foreign and also local authors, usually lump the discussion of intangibles, audit of intangibles to audit of property, plant, and equipment. So technically, their discussion natin sa audit of PPE and audit of intangible is almost the same. Okay, if we're going to look dito, we barely have around 1, 2, 3, 4, around 4 lang ka-paragraph for our audit of intangible because again, the audit of intangible and audit of PPE are very similar to each other. So what are our audit objective for the audit of intangible assets? So una, to determine the valuation base which is to be used for each intangible asset. Okay? Second is to ascertain the propriety of amortization policies. Okay? Kung sa ating PPE, we depreciate. Sa intangible, we amortize it. Number three, to determine the evidence that evidence for is proper for authorization to acquire, sell, license, or write off any intangible. Fourth one is to determine that revenues and tangible assets are properly accounted for and controlled, and to determine that the financial statements properly disclose the intangible asset as well as their amortization. So what will be our audit program for our intangible asset? So first and foremost, we need to get analysis of each intangible asset. Okay. So we need to look at the transactions that is happening for a certain intangible asset, and from there we're going to decide whether this should be capitalized or not. Parang ganon ang mangyayari. The auditor should analyze each intangible account and verify the transaction from its inception. The objective here is to determine the propriety and the valuation at the time of creation or acquisition and its subsequent additions and disposal. So, dapat i-analyze talaga natin yung mga transaction that is happening for your intangible assets from the start. Okay? Second, to review the supporting evidence, to determine the validity, of course, the ownership and the rights from our intangible assets. If you could remember, in your financial accounting, I hope you could still remember that one, no? 'Di ba sa FinAc ang ating patent, the useful of the 'di ba may mga useful life sila, 'di ba? Si patent natin is 20 years, no? I mean, the legal life ng patent is 20 years. The legal life natin trademark is 10 years, no? But could be renewed, no? Indefinitely. Tapos we also have the copyright which is left of the author plus 50 years, 'di ba? So parang gano'n no yung so we have those legal life which should be also part of our supporting evidence. The author should review all pertinent evidence supporting the intangible asset. This includes the contracts, agreement, patent letters, franchise grants, copyright registration, trademark registration. Okay? And these documents that was mentioned dito should be part of your permanent file as auditor, no? Yung mga permanent file. So next is asset value is to assess the valuation. Okay, so I think the auditor should be satisfied that the valuation of the intangible asset in accordance with this is wrong. It must be past 38. No, intangible assets past 38. No? As a minimum, as a part of determining the proper valuation, the auditor should there of course not ascertain the remaining usefulness of the intangible asset because we will use the useful life of the asset, the intangible asset, to determine how long shall we amortize your intangibles name. Okay? Next is examination of intangible. So how do we examine for intangible? So the auditors, substantiation, of the intangible asset shall begin with the analysis of the ledger. And from that ledger, you're going to trace the debits, no? Trace them to their evidences and the credits as well. You're going to to trace them to the amortization or to authorization for any write-off of those intangible. Okay? Tapos also, you need to also to review no kung reasonable ba ang kanyang pag-amortize. Baka sobra-sobrang pag-amortize niya para lang dumami yung para tumaas amortization expense at bumaba yung income tax na babayaran niya. So, you also need to look at the reasonableness of your intangibles. Okay? Now, what are the accounting issues for your intangible assets? So, remember this one. Intangible asset is identifiable non-monetary asset without physical substance. Okay, the thing that, di ba sabi ko kanina, the audit of PPE and intangible are almost the same. Okay? Yes, they're almost the same. As well with the definition, they're almost the same. Okay? What differs or what makes intangible asset different is this one. Without physical substance. Kasi PP is identifiable. You could identify, this is machinery. This is land. This is building. You could identify that one. And also, that is non-monetary. Di ba? It does not represent cash. Cash ba ang land? Hindi. Cash ba ang building? Hindi. Cash ba ang machinery? Hindi. So, identifiable, non-monetary asset din yung PPE. But what makes the intangible asset, what makes the definition of the intangible asset uh, what makes the definition of the tangible asset and intangible asset really for intangible asset is this phrase no without physical substance. Wala talaga siyang physical substance. Hindi mo mahahawakan ang patent, hindi mo mahahawakan ang copyright, hindi mo mahahawakan ang franchise, hindi mo mahahawakan yung trademark, but you have just a certificate of patent, certificate of trademark, no? Parang siyang stocks ba, no? Di mo mahawakan ng stocks. Diba? You cannot hold stocks. Stock has no physical substance. Pero meron ka lang certificate. So, parang ganun ang intangible asset mo. Identifiable, non-monetary asset without physical substance which is used for the production or supply of goods or for rental to others or for administrative purposes. Okay? Recording ba? Wait lang. Okay. Keep it. Okay, so these are the examples of your intangibles, so computer software, patent, copyright, and so on and so forth. Ito yung mga example niya. So, not all items mentioned meet the definition of intangible asset. So, there are certain tangible asset there are certain tangible asset na pwede, intangible assets siya, pero hindi natin siya pwede i-classify as intangible asset as per past 38. Mamaya, meron tayong qualification mamaya, no, kung na intangible asset siya, pero hindi siya pwede ma-qualify as intangible asset based on past 38. So, what if sa hindi siya na-meet sa as intangible asset per past 38, anong gagawin sa kanya? I-expense siya. Okay? If an item does not meet the definition of intangible asset, expenditure to acquire or to create to generate internally is recognized as expense when it is incurred. So, expense po siya kung hindi siya ma-qualify as intangible asset. Next, identifiability. This is very important, no? This is very important na factor or na characteristic ng intangible asset. Although wala siyang physical substance but you must be able to identify it. So, how do we able to no, na identifiable ang isa ka asset. Una, it is separate, no? It is a separate asset. It is a separate right, no? Separate siya in a sense na pwede siya ibenta na siya lang, pwede siya i-transfer na siya lang, pwede siya i-license, iparenta, or exchange, no, individually or together with other assets or liability. Basta you're able to separate it from other assets. Next, it must arise from a contractual or legal right. So that's the characteristic of being identifiable or identifiability. Next is control. I think very naman tayo, no? Very oriented tayo with the word control, no? Pag yung tag control, When talk about control, we have the power to obtain the future economic benefit flowing from the underlying resource. So meaning, tayo may control. Meaning kung anong risk and rewards over that asset, sa atin yan, di ba? If we have benefits, sa atin yan. If meron siyang risk, then we will borne the risk. So that's the meaning of control. Next naman is of course, alam na po natin to na future economic benefit. No doubt that we already know what is future economic benefit. So these three characteristic, identifiability po, control, and the future economic benefits is very important no as to recognition or to determine whether a certain asset is intangible asset or not. Okay, so intangible asset should be recognized, of course, if probable na may economic benefit and the cost of the asset is measured reliably. Okay? Now, cost may only include expenditure past the date of intangible qualification and not before. Do you remember sa video doon sa past IS-38 na video from the IFRS box that I let you watch, 'di ba? Sabi doon that for a certain cost to be capitalized as intangible asset, it must pass through this what we call technical feasibility. And that is ito siya, intangible qualification. When shall a certain cost be qualified as intangible asset? When it reaches, no, when it reaches this technical feasibility. Kaya those costs that was incurred before the technical feasibility shall be expensed. Pero if the certain cost was incurred upon reaching or after the date in which we acquired the technical feasibility, that's the time that we capitalize. And the cost must be directly distributed, reasonably allocated, related to creating, producing, or preparing the asset for its use. So, previously expense or pre-qualification expenditure, meaning yung mga expenditures before pa na-qualify as intangible asset shall not be capitalized or therefore should be expensed. Ito yung mga examples natin no na dapat i-expense natin ang mga cost. Una is the research cost. Research talaga is expense talaga, no? Remember doon sa video, research are always expense. Wala tayong kinakapitalize na research. Pero sa development, pwede tayong mag-capitalize sa development. Di ba? We could capitalize development cost given napapasa siya sa anim na qualification. Remember yung pirate? Okay? Again, na si research, but never talaga siya, never siya makapitalize. Sa development, pwede makapitalize given napapasa siya sa anim na papasa siya sa anim na what do I call this one? It will pass through the 6 qualification or 6 condition, and those are your pirate. Okay? Yung pirate na mnemonics doon. Pre-operating cost shall be expense. Organizational cost shall be expense. Be careful with this because some of the problems in tangible asset includes also in organizational cost, and some of the problems there would like you to capitalize the organizational cost, but please be noted that org cost is to be expensed. Training costs, of course, advertising and related costs of expense, allocating, restructuring, and other costs is to be expensed, as well as the customer list, brands, mastheads, publishing titles that are internally generated. Please highlight the word internally generated. Kasi pag acquired siya, it is externally acquired, that should be, pwede natin i-capitalize natin siya. Okay? Pero if a certain customer list, brands, mastheads, or publishing titles are internally generated, they shall be expensed. Again ha, pag internally generated, the customer list, brand, masthead, and publishing titles, they also are to be expensed. So, how do we initially measure intangible? Siyempre at cost, 'di ba? More likely wala tayong problema diyan. It shall be measured at cost talaga. Now, what are the other issues in acquiring your intangible? So, if an intangible is acquired by means of government grant, very simple lang po yan, ginoo ko. If acquired for free of charge, meaning libre yung pagbigay ng ating ng intangible, you just need to disclose it, no, in the financial statement. Kasi wala siyang amount. Would you debit intangible and credit grant income? How much? Di ba wala man because free of charge man siya. Libre, alam mo, debit ka intangible asset, credit grant income, zero, zero. That's too naive. So in that case, you just need to disclose na meron the company acquired intangible asset free of charge through government grant. Pero if meron siyang active market, meaning meron siyang fair value, you shall use the fair value, 'di ba? Kung meron siyang binigay na fair value, then you shall use the fair value. Kung walang fair value, pwede gamitin mo ang nominal amount, no? Nominal amount plus any expenditure that is directly attributable and preparing the asset for its intended use. But more likely, I tell you, pag may government grant, ibibigay talaga ang fair value dyan. Next is exchange of asset. So, sa exchange naman of intangible, this is accounted similarly as your PPE. So, ano yung process na ginawa natin sa PPE? The same process ang gagawin natin sa exchange of asset dito sa intangible. What if a certain intangible is internally generated? No, other than goodwill. No, internally generated siya. Okay? In the event that intangibles are internally generated, example, patent, ikaw gumawa ng patent mo, okay, it may be possible to identify the relevant cost and thus to justify the qualification, provided that, ito ang mga guidelines natin, no, about your internally generated intangibles. Una, cost incurred in the research phase are expensed immediately. I-expense po talaga yan siya lahat. Okay? If cost incurred in the development phase meet the recognition criteria for intangible asset, such cost should be capitalized. So kung if the cost of development phase papasa siya sa pirate, yung sa anim natin na criteria, they should be capitalized. However, once cost expense during the development phase, they cannot be later be capitalized. For example, during the development phase, na-expense mo na yung development cost. Pero later, gusto mo siya i-capitalize, bawal na siya. Once expense na siya talaga. Okay? Number 3, if expenditure meets the recognition criteria, cost comprises all costs directly attributable to creating, producing, and preparing the asset for its intended use. Okay, so kung pwede siya i-capitalize, so itong pwede mo i-capitalize no, as part of your intangible. Una is yung materials and services na ginamit mo, salaries sa personnel, the registration fee na binayad mo doon sa Intellectual Property Office sa pag-register ng imuhang patent and licenses, the overhead na imong na-incur in producing your intangible, the borrowing costs related not to related to the intangible and the administrative and other overhead costs which is directly attributable to the procurement or to the making of your intangible asset. Now, how about internally generated goodwill? Hindi po siya. It is not recognized as intangible asset. Remember this one. The only goodwill that we are going to recognize is the goodwill arising from your business combination. Okay? If a certain goodwill arises or if a certain goodwill was internally generated, then therefore it is not intangible asset. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina sa inyo na intangible asset siya, pero hindi siya pwede intangible asset because hindi siya maka-qualify because hindi siya maka-qualify per past 38. Ba? Pero pag ang goodwill is binili mo siya no acquired through business combination, that's the time na pwede mo siya i-capitalize. Okay? I-capitalize lang siya pag galing siya sa business combination. Okay, let's move. Subsequently incurred costs. Subsequent costs incurred on tangible assets should be recognized as an expense when they are incurred unless pwede na siya i-expense daw siya except kung may probable that those costs will give future economic benefit and those costs could be measured reliably. Next, research and development costs. Very klaro kayo na pa lang, no? Pag research phase, it is recognized as expense immediately. Pag pag development expenditure, di ba, pirate, saan itong pirate natin? Like, pirate, una is probable, di ba to? GPI rate, probable economic benefits. Probable P. Sa amo kasi katong college pa kon during our time, no, lahi pod ang amo lahi pod ang amo ang mnemonics. We have TIA paa. T I A paa. T as in paa na T, ba? P A A. So we have technical feasibility, intention to complete, ability to use or sell, TIA paa. Public correct benefit, availability of technical, financial, other resources, and ability to measure reliably. So you could use TIA paa or you could use pirate, but I want you to use pirate because that's more formal than my TIA paa. Okay? So these are the examples under research. So about the research, basta if a certain cost will give us new knowledge, pag meron siyang knowledge or new findings, that is under research. Just look for the word new and you will know that that is under research. Okay? Other development costs, yung testing in, search for, evaluation of product or alternative, magde-design ka na, mag-construct of pre-production prototypes. So, pag may prototypes na, so that's good na. Pero that's under development phase na yan siya, and so on and so forth. Okay? So, these are the items na hindi siya ma-qualify as research and development. Anong mga common na mga items na pwede natin masabi na hindi siya kasali as research and development. Una, pag nandyan na siya sa commercial production. Kasi pag nasa commercial production na siya, meaning, okay na yung machine. Di ba? I mean, okay na yung intangible, di ba? It is not anymore under development phase kasi nasa commercial production na siya. Meaning, tapos na siya. Atin na lang we are now producing it. No, we are now producing it. We are now duplicating it to sell it, 'di ba? So pag nasa commercial production na siya, hindi na po siya under research and development. Next, if you see the word routine, meaning paulit-ulit na siya, it only means na tapos na po ang research and development kasi paulit-ulit na siyang ginagawa. Okay? So, commercial production, routine, commercial production, routine, commercial activity, routine, di ba? So, na lang tayo. So, we just need to think of commercial production and routine na word, and that's it. Okay. Now, how do we subsequent measure your intangibles? Yes. So we could use cost method, cost minus accumulated amortization less accumulated impairment loss, or we could also do the valuation of your intangible, but we seldom use it. Actually, this is only restricted for freely traded intangible asset. But never in my life pa so far that I have encountered problems that use revaluation for your intangible. So it's safe to say that you may stick with this lang, no? Cost minus accumulated amortization less accumulated impairment losses. For computer software, what is this computer software? Pag under research pa siya, charge expense. Pag under development cost na siya, capitalize if ma-meet yung pirate natin. Okay? So same lang gihapon na siya, no? If you purchase a software for sale, papunta siya sa inventory, no? If you have a software which is held for licensing or rentals to others, that's an intangible asset. If for own use, kung gagamitin mo talaga siya and integral to the hardware, so that will become part of your PPE. Pero software, pero hindi siya integral part of the hardware, you could classify that one as intangible asset. So ito yung mga kailangan natin isipin. Now, how do we amortize your software cost? So we do revenue method, diba? So current gross revenue divided by the total gross revenue multiplied by the unamortized cost of the software, that will give you your amortization dapat to. Now, kung the cost, if such pattern cannot be measured reliably, you will use straight line method. Again, Pag capitalized software, revenue method. Okay? Current revenue divided by the total revenue, total expected revenue, multiply by the cost or yung hindi pa na-amortize na cost ng software, that will be your amortization. Pag walang revenue method, straight line method po tayo. Website development cost is not intangible asset, therefore shall be expense. Service concession, this is your build, operate, transfer. Okay? This is part of your practical accounting too, no? Example of your service concession, ikaning atong yatawag na to na Damo Light, water district, right? Because they are private sector, no? Arrangement between a private and the public sector whereby the private sector shall provide services in order for the public to access to major economic and social facilities. Okay? So, ang private sector yung nagpapatakbo, pero parang there's agreement between the private and the public sector that the public sector shall go over or shall supervise the actions made by by the public sector. Example of these are expressways and nato ang uh, SLEX, NLEX, airports, bridges, and telecom network. They're under service concession or build, operate, transfer. Parang kon ba? Para siya kanang kuanggot ka ng mga concessionaire nato sa UN, di ba? Natin mga copier concessionaire, dito sa food court concessionaire, di ba? They are private entities but they are closely monitored by the university. Yung parang ganun ba? So, if what's the accounting treatment? So, you could use that one as either a financial asset or an intangible asset or both. So, kailan siya magiging financial asset? Pag guaranteed ang contractual right to receive a certain cash or a certain cash flow. Pero intangible asset siya, no? If you have a right, not a license, to charge user for public service. So meaning, pag sinisingil mo ang tao, no, kada gamit niya, that's intangible asset. Pero ang kuan po, pero ang what if ang cash mo is hindi dependent sa pagsingil sa gumagamit, that is a financial asset kasi meron kang specified amount na mababayaran na matatanggap pala. Kaya asset mo siya. Kaya financial asset siya. Pero again, if the cash flow is highly dependent from the charge sa imong ginaano from the money that you charge sa mga gumagamit sa users, then that shall be intangible asset. Kasi sabi ko kanina, no, these are the list of the legal life of your intangible asset. Patent 20 years, copyright 50, life of the author plus 50 years. Okay? Example, namateng author karon, so kanya pa yan siya for the next 50 years. Franchise, magdedepende po talaga ang franchise no sa kanyang sa kontrata. If the franchise will run only for 5 years, then the legal life of the franchise is 5 years. Sa leasehold naman, syempre, it shall be amortized over the life of the lease term. Sa trademark naman, 10 years, may be renewed for periods of 10 years. So, pwede 10 years siya. After 10 years, pwede mo siya i-renew ng indefinitely. So that will be for our discussion or run through ng ating discussion ng SIM ng ating intangible asset. I hope you're able to highlight and note yung mga topics which I intently emphasize in this discussion. Thank you. God bless.